Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ina Talks. I'm happy as usually to have you here, as I know that I haven't been here for a while and it feels quite weird. The 2025 was a challenging year for me for sure, and at the end of the year, I discovered that some of my previous routines, some of my previous thoughts, maybe even mindset was not working. And in order to make things work this year, I just needed to go through quite a, how to say, transformation. And for that, I sort of needed to rethink, reconsider, and maybe even reinvent myself a little bit, to push away, reduce, or cut out completely the things that were not working for me, and to make sure that I attribute those ways which will be complementing my survival mode and complement my lifestyle overall in 2026. Things are moving actually fast, and they were at the end of 2025. I have to say that I had to travel a lot. I was on the road, and I really used that time while I was commuting from place to place or traveling in order to organize my thoughts and think what exactly is missing, what exactly is lacking, what doesn't work anymore among those things that I was keeping to. And definitely, I would like to share these with you so that you could benefit from them. Maybe you're going to be able to borrow some of them for the improvement goals, for the improvement purpose, and that would make me really happy actually. The first item on my supposedly list would be the level of flexibility. I would like to confess that I'm actually pretty stubborn, and sometimes it's really difficult for me to step away from my rigid rules and rigid routines that I built for myself. Even when they stop working, I stop noticing because I'm so into executing them. I'm so into making those things continue and work, and it's an illusion. Sometimes you just need to reach the certain level of delusion in order to realize that you are like captivated in it, and that's also something that you need to pay attention to. You probably know that I was very into physical movement as the mental supporter, as the mental health tool or technique, how to make yourself feel much better, and also support your muscle tissues. They also need that, and the bone density. All sort of things need in our body. They need care, and they need the continuous care and movement. That's why I was doing that throughout 2025. And at the end of the year, I basically crumbled in the sense that I realized that I couldn't keep the same gym attendance frequency because obviously I was traveling from place to place, running from point A to point B all the time. And it put a lot of pressure on me. I felt horrible about not being able to execute those weekly steps that I was so used to. And it kind of was really putting me into a bad mental place. And I decided that why to be rigid, why to stick to the same frequency or rule or activity. I basically added into my routine daily flexibility movement, some stretching that I could do like anywhere, basically regardless where I am. I could still carry out those movements and bring this blood circulation up in my body and feel better, feel that I have contributed to my movement plan overall, and not to feel horrible that maybe I did skip one gym day, like maybe I couldn't carry out the hour or hour and a half workout process. Maybe I couldn't do that simply because I was on the way or somewhere or on the way back. So I understand that for some of you it might sound a bit, like maybe it does sound a bit obvious, but like to me, I was so set into this rule, into this routine that it literally was bugging me. But right now, like even when I'm pretty busy with things, pretty like captured in the process of doing something, I still can have a 4 minute break, 5 minute break in order to stretch, to have a few glasses of water, to do some breathing, and to feel much better, feel re energized in order to carry on with whatever I have to carry out.
Every single year, I do make the New Year's resolutions, even if I think that this is bullshit, because it later helps me to estimate how critically difficult or just difficult some of the goals that I set for myself were, and whether I would like to pursue them further, like because not everything has to be prioritized. I believe that the previous year, one of the biggest things for me was obtaining the knowledge and obtaining the actual driving certificate, which I did not do. So, one could call it definitely a failure because objectively it was, because I do not have it. I do not have the driving certificate on hand. And like on one hand, I realized that I put quite a lot of effort and quite a lot of preparation in particular because I traveled to Ukraine to complete my driving practice hours, quite a few over these years. I had to do more than 40, and I still appeared to be not ready, not prepared in order to pass the exam. And the exam itself was a separate mission, separate how to say challenge that I was going through, and in future I will still have to go through. So, like, what is my outcome on this? Like, one could call it just a failure, just as simple as that. But like on the other hand, I understand that when you're not prepared for something, it doesn't matter how much you struggle, you just need to see the sense in giving it more time and trusting the process. Even if it seems absolutely unbearable, sometimes it actually is. And yeah, I would like to say that sometimes it's really, really tough on the person, but in case it does not happen, there must be reasons for that because like driving involves a lot of other actors, like on the road. And if you're not confident enough in order to take place there, then maybe that's a bit too early for you to find your place there. The next item on this reinvention, self-reinvention transformation path, I would say sustainable learning. And what do I mean by that? As a person who comes from learning and development field, I did like get used to learning things in bulk in large volumes at the same time and being able to dedicate a lot of focus, a lot of attention to certain topics in order to really deep dive and learn in depth whatever I needed to. But currently things take over. There's a lot of uncertainty in my life and in other people's lives for sure, I believe. And I decided that if I can learn something by very small chunks and that can still make a difference, then I'm gonna stick to that better. So I learn little by little. If I can get a person to learn about something, like, I don't know, 3 minutes of that person's time in a day, but like that would be still good. But as long as you can build a process, a sustainable process for yourself, because of course you might not always have enough time to learn something 2 hours, 5 hours per day. This sounds even a bit impossible after I said this. If you can get that subject matter expert and have the 3 minutes of that person's time in order to pick up on the subject, as long as you're able to build the process from A to like the point where you would like to reach, then it makes sense doing. In case you don't even understand like how approximately where you would like to imagine yourself at the end of this learning journey, what kind of result you would like to see for yourself. If you do not see that, then I think it's better to either like quit or postpone that kind of learning until you are like more certain, you gain certainty in this understanding. Because like dispersing your attention, dispersing your focus is also something that we tend to do these days, and it's really not worth your time if this thing was not thought of properly.